It is the end of what passes for the holiday week, and so it's time to take out the trash. That song. Anyway, we got Trashy here. Trashy is ready, as we all are in the approach to Thanksgiving, to eat something tasty. So Jared Jackson, myself, and Dragon Squad, we have combed the interwebs for the garbageest people in the world. JR, who's your garbage person of the week?
Well, I was trying to get away from the norms, the McConnells, the Trumps, the Giulianis, but at least there's someone that's somewhat connected. It's our friend Jenna Ellis, but it's not even for the reason that you would think from her clown portion of the press conference with Rudy Giuliani. It's actually her Twitter. Let's pull up this tweet. This Twitter that's gonna convince everyone that there was an issue, or there is an issue between conservatives and liberals, and that this well-known, very much circulated tweet is a quote. Was he on Twitter? Was it Facebook? From Teddy Roosevelt, who says, to anger conservative, lie to him. To anger a liberal, tell him the truth. Teddy Roosevelt. So I've always had this a bit of a fascination with people quoting others, and friends of mine do it. People that I think are very smart do it. I hate quoting people, especially in meme form, and acting like that's a convincing argument. Yeah. Why does that make any sense? In what circumstance did Teddy Roosevelt say this? It doesn't matter. Teddy Roosevelt said it, so therefore you should do what now? I thought you're fighting to get this election overturned. What does this have to do with that? So anyway, of course people jumped on it, and we've discovered this is the good part. Teddy Roosevelt never said that. But the thing is she's tweeting like a 61-year-old aunt that lives in Nebraska and says, hey, did you guys see this? Here's a meme. And then tweets about it because she thinks she's still cool. And if I put up a meme, then that'll be great. So she got excoriated for this, Jenna Ellis did. So therefore she responded further and added to her tweet. For people asking, this, by the way, no one's asking, they're telling you. This quotation has been attributed to Roosevelt. Nobody's asking anything, no, but definitely nobody's asking anything. This quotation has been attributed to Roosevelt, but there isn't a specific record of him saying this in a speech. Okay, I posted it because the idea, that's a little typo, itself is true, whether or not he said it. Nice big smiley face. So the idea of your opinion about liberals versus conservatives is true. So therefore, it doesn't matter who you attribute the quote to, it's just true. Or maybe is it still convincing? Should people still listen to it? What's the point of Teddy Roosevelt? Hey, let's throw in George Washington and say, my Twitter account got hacked. Because people's Twitter accounts have been hacked before. That's a true statement. So does it mean, say, George Washington's Twitter account was hacked? That doesn't matter. Someone said it. I can attribute it to anybody. And then therefore you should be convinced that Twitter accounts get hacked. What are we doing here again? Wait, what's your job? Oh, to overturn the election. But we're talking about Teddy Roosevelt in a tweet because that's convincing. And then you didn't delete it. That you said it's because I like that idea.
Well, because people were asking. No, everybody was pointing out that he didn't say that. Nobody was asking. They were maybe asking WTF, that's a question, but they weren't asking. Oh my God.
Jenna Ellis concludes her fabulous, the past week, from last week to this week, a full 7 days of ridiculousness, insanity. We already know about her opposition to Trump before that. That was clownish enough, but this I think firmly puts her in the garbage can for this week.
Definitely. Trashy will enjoy eating her. Yeah, so the only 2 points I wanna make on that is one is, as I said in my live this morning, it isn't just that she didn't care that it was true. It's that the quote itself was about the fact that conservatives only want the truth and libs only want convenient lies. And she didn't care whether it was true or not, which I just think is that's delicious.
I don't know, maybe I should put a picture of Teddy Roosevelt and then say irony. Maybe they'll figure out what it is if they read it with Teddy Roosevelt's face next to it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I don't have the opposition to quotes or even meme quotes that you do necessarily, but in a particular way. If it's an interesting, thought-provoking comment, fine. If you want to use it for that, if you want to use it to memorialize someone, fine. Yeah. But don't just try to have it make the point for you because supposedly a famous person said it. It still has to make sense on its own. But for her, it's a shortcut. It's a shortcut in the same way that Charlie Kirk putting the like thinking head on all of his tweets as a shortcut. It's like, no, you still have to think. You can't just put the thinking emoji. Anyway. Okay.
Oh, so easy.
That's good garbage right there.
Money. Yeah, sorry, good.
If you're a conservative, it is very easy to make money.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.